Hi everyone. It's a new year, brand new year here, and I'm recommitting to keeping this page alive. Honestly, you guys, life has been very busy. Life has been hectic. The COVID-19 virus just took everyone by storm, and we all just try to stay afloat to just keep alive. But this is a brand new year, and I started this year with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement because I have this gratitude journaling that I've been doing starting March last year, yeah, at the onset of the COVID lockdown. And one of the things I did rather before the beginning of this new year was to ask myself, where have I been? Where was I at the beginning of the year in January? That's January 2020. And where am I right now? So I took stock, and it wasn't just about my physical well-being. It also had to do with my mental headspace, where I was mentally and emotionally. And I realized that I had made a lot of progress. And even though the progress seemed a little bit sort of intangible, but there were things I was grateful for. Now, a lot of you may have noticed my comments on some platforms, and that's why I'm making this video today. And what is it? It's equanimity, grace under fire. Having the ability to restrain yourself when you should actually, when your natural inclination should be or would be to react. You understand? So when something happens, say you got into an argument with someone and your first inclination is to just yell at the person, nah, go do something now. But before we talk about that, I think I have a lot to say to you guys, to share with you guys with regards to my journey my awakening and all of that. But just before we delve into that, I mean, in the other videos that will be coming, I just want to talk about self-love and establishing boundaries in relationship, because I noticed that on most of the platforms where I've been privileged to comment, that a lot of people do not have boundaries. That some of the problems that a lot of us women and individuals are having in our relationships stem from the fact that the foundation of most of those relationships are faulty. And the thing is, you can't wake up 7 years or 4 years later and tell someone how to treat you when you did not establish the boundaries from the beginning. And don't give up yet, because all hope is not lost. You may have started that relationship without being able to tell that person how to treat you, being able to tell that person what you want, and prioritizing yourself and respecting yourself, because sometimes we think that being codependent and being clingy and doing or saying self-deprecating things that put us down, is actually us trying to love the other person. But it's not, because if you cannot love yourself, if you cannot show yourself respect, how are you going to be able to do that for another person? But we all do it. Most of us do it as women. We just go, oh, I would give my husband that piece of meat that I'm not going to give myself. I would give him the best part of the house to sit. I would serve him. I would this, I would that. No. Pause for a minute and tell yourself this 2021 that you are going to do things, commit to doing things differently. Stop living for other people, women. Live for yourself. Prioritize yourself first. Prioritize self-care. Look after yourself first, because when you look after yourself, you're telling other people, you're telling your children, you're telling your husband, you're telling your in-laws, you're telling everybody around you how to treat you. You're telling them that you matter too. Because you know what? When you don't do that, you spend your whole energy taking care of people who are not going to reciprocate. And you know where that leads? It makes you extremely resentful. You become very resentful. You become angry. You have all that rage. And then maybe the guy, your husband or your spouse or your partner, drops a plate, and then you yell at him. And it is not the plate. It's not about the plate. It is you reacting to being taken for granted. And the only way you can fight that, I've seen it, is working for me. It's worked for me. I wouldn't tell you guys what doesn't work for me. The only way you can teach people how to treat you and establish boundaries, especially if you did not do that at the onset, is by looking after yourself. We talk a lot, especially Nigerian women. We talk too much. We yell too much. We shout. This is not the time to shout, because shouting is not going to do it. You yell at a man, he builds walls. He stonewalls you and zones you out. What do? You start praying, going to churches? Hell no. You look after yourself. Channel all that love and energy into yourself. Rediscover yourself. A lot of you don't know yourselves. You spend too much time running after other people, running after your spouse, running after your children, running after other people to fill up the hole in you, just so that you don't sit with yourself, sit by yourself, sit in solitude and get to know who you are and what you want. Now, one of the things I would like most of you to do this year is to practice self-love. Do one thing every day that makes you happy. You're not living for other people if you can't live for yourself. One of the things that the universe created, or God created in all of us, is self-love. Is that selfishness, self-preservation, that willingness, that ability to preserve yourself first. It is instinct. It is just a natural instinct that we can't deny. But too many times we all get married, we have kids, and society forces us to conform. It pushes us into prioritizing other people and their needs above ours. And then what do we have? We just have a carcass. And when we look in the mirror, we can't recognize ourselves anymore. And the people we seek validation from and affirmation from don't even give a shit about us. So what do? You take back all that power you've given outside and refocus and rechannel that power into yourself, because the locus of power is supposed to be within you. It's supposed to be inside you. But too many times we give that power away on the altar of marriage, relationships, and all of that. So this year, all of you, my followers, are going to tell yourselves that you are going to reclaim that power you have given away. And you're going to start by loving yourselves. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all. Cheers.